Have you ever heard of a war that was stopped? Not by swords, not by chariots, but by cats? Yes, cats. The furry, graceful creatures we keep as pets today once played a surprising role in ancient warfare. Let's travel back more than 2,500 years to the deserts of Egypt, the land of pyramids, pharaohs, and gods. For the Egyptians, animals weren't just companions, they were sacred. And no animal was more revered than the cat. Cats were seen as protectors, symbols of grace, even guardians of the goddess Bastet. To harm a cat, even by accident, was considered a grave sin. People would weep, shave their eyebrows in mourning, and even face punishment if a cat was killed. Now this deep reverence became the key to one of history's strangest battlefield tricks. Around the year 525 BC, Egypt faced an invading force led by Cambyses II, the king of Persia. Cambyses had conquered lands across the Middle East, and now his eyes were set on Egypt. But he faced a problem. The Egyptian army was strong, their defences solid, and their morale high. How could he break them without losing too many of his own men? Then came a daring idea. Cambyses knew the Egyptians worshipped cats, so he ordered his soldiers to collect as many cats as they could. Cats from villages, temples, and streets. Some accounts even say they painted sacred symbols of Bastet on their shields. And when the day of battle arrived, the Persians marched toward the Egyptian city of Pelusium, holding cats in their arms and driving them ahead of their lines. Imagine the scene. Thousands of soldiers, not just with spears and arrows, but with yowling, hissing cats in front of them. The Persians advanced and the Egyptians froze. Why? Because to attack meant risking harm to the cats. And for an Egyptian soldier, killing a cat would be worse than losing a battle. It would mean offending the gods themselves. What could they do? If they shot arrows, they might strike the sacred animals. If they charged forward, they might trample them. Their religious devotion became their weakness, and Cambyses knew it. The result? The Egyptians hesitated. Their defense crumbled, and the Persians broke through. The Battle of Pelusium became one of the strangest victories in military history, one with claws, whiskers, and divine fear. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Ancient sources differ on the details. Some Greek historians, like Herodotus, told stories that may have been exaggerated, painting Cambyses as a clever but ruthless strategist. Others believe cats were only painted on shields as symbols, not actually carried into battle. Yet the idea has lived on for centuries, partly because it reveals so much about the ancient Egyptian worldview. To the Egyptians, cats weren't just animals. They were sacred protectors of the home, hunters of snakes, defenders of grain stores against rats. Killing one, even by accident, was punishable by death. Their devotion was so strong that Cambyses may have simply used their own beliefs against them. Think about it. In modern times, battles are won with technology, planes, missiles, strategies of speed and surprise. But in the ancient world, sometimes the sharpest weapon wasn't made of bronze or iron. It was psychology, a clever trick. The enemy's own fears and faith turned into a weapon. The Battle of Pelusium reminds us of two things. First, how powerful cultural beliefs can be, shaping even life or death decisions on the battlefield. And second, how creative, and yes, how strange, human strategies can get when survival is at stake. In the end, Egypt fell under Persian control, and Cambyses marched into the land of the Nile as a conqueror. But the story of the cats lived on, retold across generations, as one of the most unusual war tactics in history. So, the next time your cat knocks a glass off the table or curls up lazily in the sun, remember, thousands of years ago, cats weren't just internet stars. They were game changers in a real battle. The Battle of the Cats, an ancient trick where the softest paws turned sharper than any sword. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching.